Hello, welcome to Chart Talk Training Module, Scheduling 1. In this module, we will introduce the Chart Talk schedule. We will show you how to use the Chart Talk schedule to create appointments. We will take a look at the clinic schedule, the clinic dashboard, and the Today's Visit widget, which are all tools that can be used to view and access appointment information. Chart Talk uses appointment-based logic. Many processes in Chart Talk are driven by the appointments, so we will look at the relationship between the appointment you create on the schedule, information about the date of service and visit record, and the billing claim you create to send to insurance or assign as patient responsibility. We will look at scheduling appointments, both a single appointment and recurring appointments. And then we will end by discussing the difference between deleting an appointment and using the appointment status to mark them as canceled, rescheduled, or if the patient did not show up for their appointment. 3 tools that you will use every day to interact with your schedule are the clinic schedule, the clinic dashboard, and the Today's Visit widget. The clinic schedule looks like your basic calendar. It can be configured based on clinic hours, provider availability, and base appointment length. The clinic dashboard is an easy-to-read grid of patients and appointment times that allows you to easily see which appointments have been billed and which have had their documentation completed. Finally, the Today's Visit widget is the main focus of your personal dashboard. For providers, the widget shows the next 10 appointments scheduled for you. For staff and other user roles, the widget shows the next 10 patients scheduled to come into the clinic. Navigate to the clinic schedule by clicking on the main navigation menu. The clinic schedule is organized based on your settings in the schedule configuration. We will go over schedule configuration in a later module about configuring Chart Talk. You can create appointments by double-clicking the time slot you want to schedule for. You can double or triple book appointments by double-clicking the area next to a previously scheduled appointment. Navigate to the clinic dashboard by clicking Clinic Dashboard from the top navigation menu. The clinic dashboard can be filtered by date, provider, or patient. From the grid view of appointments, any appointment with a yellow background means that documentation for that visit has not been completed. If the status of the appointment is complete, then the appointment has been billed. Clicking the appointment time will link to the visit record and allow you to create documentation in the form of a SOAP note and add or edit any diagnosis and procedural codes. Clicking the patient name from this screen will link you to the patient dashboard. When you click the status column, a drop-down tool appears and allows you to mark the appointment in clinic, complete, or any other appointment status. The visit type column is color-coded based on your preference from your schedule configuration. The Today's Visit widget is on your main dashboard. You can navigate to the main dashboard at any time by clicking My Office or the Chart Talk logo from the top navigation bar. For providers, this widget shows your next 10 upcoming appointments. For all other user types, this widget shows the next 10 scheduled patients no matter the provider. Clicking the time will bring you to the documentation for that visit. Clicking the patient name will navigate to the patient dashboard. Okay, now that we have gone over where you go to create and interact with appointments in ChartTalk, let's take a moment to discuss why it is important to schedule appointments in ChartTalk rather than, say, attempting to juggle a paper schedule and billing and documentation separately. When you schedule an appointment, it lays the groundwork for a lot of other functions in ChartTalk. Documentation for the visit is tied to the appointment. You may be saying, what's the difference between a visit and an appointment? In ChartTalk, an appointment is the record that you are using to block out some time on the schedule. The visit record, on the other hand, records what happened when the patient showed up for their appointment. In this chart, where we show the different information associated with an appointment, the visit information is just one piece of the whole pie. Appointments are also associated with scheduling on your calendar, patient reminders through ChartTalk email, or our partner, Solution Reach, for text, email, and phone patient appointment reminders. Claims that are sent out and remits that are sent back are linked to this appointment. The appointment lays the groundwork for the rest of your ChartTalk processes, so get familiar with creating and editing appointments in the way you want to use them, and the rest of ChartTalk will fall right into place for you. ChartTalk appointments lay the foundation to build and manage your records. They also help drive your processes. Creating an appointment sends out patient appointment reminders, which help patients complete necessary documentation, which helps speed up your billing, which then helps get the patient in to the clinic to schedule their next appointment. We're trying to help you build and manage your revenue cycle, and that all begins when you schedule your appointments in ChartTalk. Now that we understand the tools to view and modify your clinic schedule, and the importance of appointments in ChartTalk, let's go through the scheduling tool and then create a few recurring appointments for a patient. To access the scheduling tool, double-click the appointment time on the clinic schedule screen. After you select a patient, you will see information pertinent to the scheduling staff, including primary insurance company, last visit, last time vitals were recorded, active insurance authorizations, and preferred appointment times. By default, the appointment is set to never repeat, but if you select a repeat option from the drop-down tool, a few more scheduling options become available. Selecting daily, weekly, or monthly lets you choose the frequency of the recurring appointment. If you want the scheduled appointments to end after a certain amount of occurrences or after a specific date. Also, the repeat tool will attempt to find an open time slots in the patient's preferred times if they have been entered. Let's take a look at how this works in action and schedule a recurring series of appointments for a patient. Navigate to the clinic schedule by selecting Clinic Schedule from the main navigation menu. By default, the clinic schedule will be on the last date you had up. To navigate to today, click Today from the navigation bar. To move 1 or 2 days in the future or past, use the arrow buttons or use the calendar to select the day you want to schedule for from a calendar view. By default, all of the doctors will be shown on the schedule. By clicking X on the doctor name, you can increase the schedule width for the doctors in view. We'll schedule an appointment at 11 o'clock for Edward Edwards. Select your patient by typing in the first couple letters of their last name, And if you press comma and start typing their first name, you can filter the list even further. If there's an alert for the patient, that will come up, and then you will see the information for scheduling the patient. Select your appointment type, and the default visit length will already be set for you. Now we're going to set a repeat frequency. So we'll select weekly, select, say, 3 times a week, and then we can look at the authorization and decide how long we want it to go for. We can select either a certain number of visits to schedule for, or we can say end after a certain date. In this case, we're going to look at the authorized visits, and we're going to schedule another 11 visits for this patient. So we'll select 11 and hit save, and we'll be able to review the times selected. So these all fall within the patient's preferred time periods. We can reschedule or delete an appointment, but we'll just accept this. So here's their first appointment. We can navigate to the patient page by clicking the linked name from the schedule. And here we can see the upcoming appointments that were scheduled for the patient. We can even print out the appointments using this little printer button and give the patient a copy when they leave the office. Before we close out, I would like to discuss the difference between deleting an appointment and changing the status to canceled or rescheduled. When you change the status of an appointment, the history can be tracked. On reports, you can see how many times a patient canceled, rescheduled, or didn't show up for an appointment. If you delete an appointment, all record of the appointment is wiped out. We suggest only deleting appointments that were created as a mistake. Otherwise, changing the status allows you to track that information. Okay, thanks for sticking with me through this. This is the end of Schedule Training Module 1. Let's take a quick look at what we reviewed today. You saw the clinic schedule is where you create appointments by clicking the time slot where you want to make an appointment. Appointments connect information about the visit, billing, claims, as well as drive ChartTalk automated processes like patient appointment reminders. Deleting an appointment removes that appointment information, but changing an appointment status lets you track that information. You can schedule individual appointments or recurring appointments using the scheduling tool. Thanks again for joining us for ChartTalk Training Module Scheduling 1.